How did a civilization born thousands of years ago become one of the most influential commercial and cultural centers of the ancient world? Beyond the pyramids and temples, ancient Egypt developed a complex network of trade, exchange, and cultural expansion that connected distant regions through deserts, seas, and the waters of the Nile. For the Egyptians, the Nile was not only a source of life, it was also a great route of communication and transportation. Its waters allowed food, materials, people, and goods to move between cities and regions throughout the kingdom. Thanks to the annual flooding of the river, the land became fertile and abundant. This allowed the development of an agricultural economy capable of supporting large populations, monumental temples, and ambitious construction projects. Wheat, barley, flax, and other agricultural products became essential resources for trade and exchange. But Egypt did not remain isolated. Over time, trade routes emerged that connected the civilization with other regions of the ancient world. From Nubia came gold, ivory, exotic animal skins, and ebony. From the Mediterranean arrived oils, wines, and finely crafted goods. There were also exchanges with the regions of Canaan, Mesopotamia, and neighboring cultures. Through these journeys, more than merchandise traveled. Knowledge, symbols, technologies, and ideas moved as well. Trade routes became cultural bridges between civilizations. Egypt began to influence others, while also being influenced by neighboring peoples. Some trading expeditions could last for weeks or even months. Merchants and navigators traveled long distances along the Nile, across the Red Sea, and through desert routes to transport valuable goods between regions. Trade was so important that many of these activities were supervised by the Egyptian state. Temples and authorities also played a role in the administration, storage, and distribution of resources. And although today we often imagine ancient Egypt primarily as a civilization of pyramids and monuments, much of its stability depended on the constant movement of goods and the exchange of resources with other peoples. Egyptian gold, for example, was highly valued throughout the ancient world. Meanwhile, materials such as lapis lazuli, used in jewelry and ceremonial decoration, arrived from distant regions through extensive trade networks. These exchanges enriched Egyptian art, architecture, and daily life. They also strengthened Egypt's cultural influence across many regions. As Egypt grew, its presence began to be felt far beyond its borders. Some cultures admired its knowledge, its temples, and its organization. Others established commercial alliances and diplomatic relationships to maintain cooperation and stability. And although we often imagine ancient civilizations as completely separate worlds, the reality is that there was a constant flow of interaction between different peoples. Ideas about writing, agriculture, navigation, architecture, and commerce slowly traveled from one region to another, shaping the development of multiple cultures. Egypt became one of the great centers of exchange in the ancient world, a civilization connected through land and maritime routes that allowed products, knowledge, beliefs, and ways of life to spread across vast distances. And perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects is that behind every temple, every monument, and every city, There existed an enormous human network working continuously to maintain the balance of the civilization. Farmers, merchants, sailors, artisans, builders, people whose names were often lost to history, yet whose efforts helped sustain one of the most remarkable civilizations the world has ever known. Perhaps that is why, when we look at the legacy of ancient Egypt, we see more than stone and monuments. We see movement, exchange, connection between cultures, a civilization that understood that prosperity depended not only on power, but also on the ability to engage with the world around it. And perhaps, thousands of years later, we can still recognize something deeply human in those ancient trade routes that crossed deserts, seas, and stars. Because since ancient times, humanity has always sought to connect, explore, and share knowledge beyond its own borders. In our next episode, we will explore how ancient Egypt was governed, the social hierarchies, authorities, and structures that helped sustain one of the longest-lasting civilizations in human history.